Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Chicago White Sox March to October, and today is the first day of the 2024 World Series. We are at the beginning of the final step to become repeat champions, and that's actually the first time I've ever been able to say that, because as we all know, this is the first year that March to October became a multi-season experience. And even though this is the third season, season 1 we didn't get the job done, season 2 we did, so now for the first time we were able to go for that repeat championship title. And this matchup with San Diego is like the matchup of destiny. They didn't really finish out the season as strong as they did start the season. They still finished 96 and 67. They went on a bit of a streak to snag the division title away from the Dodgers. But through the first couple months of the season, the Padres were neck and neck with us for the best team in the league. We were able to maintain that pace. The Padres weren't. But I do remember saying about 50 or so games in that it seemed like we were destined to face the Padres in the World Series this season, and sure enough, that's what ended up happening. So before we play game 1, we're gonna scout out the competition a little bit. We're gonna look through the lineups of the Padres, see exactly what we're up against. We saw from that standing screen that the Padres were listed as the 5th overall team in terms of player overalls, and yeah, I mean, I remember looking at them back when they were keeping pace with us and seeing how loaded their team was, and they do have a really good hitting team. Cronenworth is up to a 91, and he had a really good year. He's had a really good couple years. Almost 200 hits, over 40 doubles, 26 bombs. Yeah, that's definitely a scary one. Then Trent Grisham is up to an 85. He didn't have the best year though. But then you got Tatis, who I'm gonna imagine kind of went off. Yeah, 336 average, 34 bombs, 50 doubles, 211 hits. Yeah, this is he's the one to be scared of in that lineup. He had a 7.9 wins above replacement year and an 8.4 the year before, and he is still playing shortstop, and his fielding is up to a 69, so he's not even that bad at short. Jesse Winker is their 4-hitter. I'm assuming just against righties, because he still has those crazy splits. Yeah, I mean 99, 94 against righties, and he went crazy. I'm assuming most of these at bats came against right-handed pitching. Back-to-back, almost identical seasons, 30 plus homers. The average way up there, on base well over 400. That's a scary one. 7.5 wins above replacement. Then you got Machado. It doesn't let up, man. These first 5 hitters, my god. Machado had a 30 homer, 300 batting average season. These Cronenworth, Tatis, Winker, and Machado, man, all of them, oh my god, I don't want to pitch to any of them. Now we get into some of the not as good seeming people, but Derek Green here, he's still really good against righties, and I'm imagining he's only in against righties. Well, I guess we can see. No, he's in against lefties too, but he's pretty good against righties. He had a decent enough season. It's definitely, I mean, he's not a weak spot. If we got a righty on the mound, he's not a weak spot in the order. This guy though, that has to be the weirdest fielding ratings I've ever seen. 88 fielding rating, but the reaction is only 65. I don't know if I've ever seen that big of a difference between fielding and reaction. I feel like those kind of go hand in hand. And then the arm to be where it's at for a right fielder. Luke Voit though, in the 7 hole, I'm assuming he didn't have a good year because of what his attributes are looking like there. Still 20 bombs. I mean, that's not a free out, man. He could probably take you deep at any point. They got Grandal after we got rid of him. I mean, and this is why we got rid of him, because we knew he was going to keep regressing, but he still had a decent enough year. You could see the drop off, but he's still a threat. It's not like he's a bad player. I mean, you look at his attributes and he can still smack the ball around. Then they close it off with James Wood. Kind of the same as Derek Green, but a little bit worse against righties. And yeah, I mean, not super impressive on the stat line, but also probably not a free out. And I don't get why he's the DH. I was gonna say originally over Derek Green, but then also over Winker. Like, wouldn't that make more sense to have him with this fielding as the DH? I don't know. Off the bench, they've got some speed with CJ Abrams. Look at plus 11 power versus lefties. Oh, he didn't even play. He wasn't even in the bigs this year. Another high fielding good speed shortstop, but not the best hitting, who also didn't really play. So wait, they really have 3 backup shortstops and 2 backup catchers, and that's their bench. Aaron Nola is also on the bench. That's a pretty good year for a bench catcher. Dang, that's like Zach Collins as the backup type numbers. They have another backup catcher who played even less, and then another high fielding, good speed shortstop that doesn't hit too well. He actually had a pretty decent season though for those hitting stats. Okay, so their hitting is scary. We might not be able to just mow them down, even though our pitching is obviously really good. But let's see what their pitching is looking like. Yeah, okay, I was gonna say this is probably their weak spot. Their ace, their number 1 starter is Tyler Mahle at an 85 overall. 4.17 ERA for him on the year. Not terrible, but not great. Really high whip though. Yeah, almost 1.5. Musgrove is their second guy, and he had a little bit better of a year. I am a little scared of facing him because I know in general I've struggled hitting Joe Musgrove. Noah Syndergaard is also in the rotation, and the numbers are just getting better as you go down. But none of these guys had like an amazing year or anything. And then Mackenzie Gore did not have a good year after a pretty solid looking rookie season too. And then their bullpen looks even weaker. I mean, all 70s except for Austin Adams. This guy here, 5 over 5 ERA. This guy didn't even pitch in the regular season. Ryan Weathers, okay, he was really good actually. This is not too bad of a player right here. Really good stamina for a reliever, high hits per 9, lefty, and he put up those numbers. Okay. This Scott Bush guy, another pretty solid year for him, but he's only a 72. Good hits per 9 though. Austin Adams was their best reliever in terms of overall. He had 50 saves. So why was he the closer in the regular season, but then not here in the postseason? Not too amazing though. I mean, 4 ERA. That's not really what you want from a closer. Tim Hill, we know him. He has that funky delivery, so especially lefty, that's going to be a tough one. And then they have Dylan Floro as their closer, and he was even worse than Austin Adams. Okay, I'm not feeling too bad. I wouldn't be shocked if some of these games turn out to be maybe not shootouts, but a little bit higher scoring than normal. I mean, I guess I say that as our first game here is a 0-0 tie. Actually, now I'm curious, how are they playing throughout the postseason so far? All their starting pitching hasn't really done that great, but this Kyle Tyler guy, he was out of the bullpen. He hasn't given up a run. Relief pitcher wise, Ryan Weathers, nothing, but Austin Adams is getting shelled. So is Tim Hill, and Scott Bush, he just looks good because he's next to those two guys. Floro as their closer though has been pretty good. He doesn't have a save. That's interesting. Actually, there's only 1 save to go around on their entire pitching staff. So what are they doing? All their wins are either by a lot or walk-offs. Grandal's done really well for them in the postseason. Okay, couple homers, batting really high. I think Zach Collins is outpacing him though. Voit, not amazing, no homers. Cronenworth, not bad, but not incredible as a leadoff hitter. Not even a 300 OBP. Machado, couple homers, but not too much consistency, I guess. Tatis, couple homers too, but he's not batting that great. Good on base though. Jesse Winker, he's probably the biggest threat, especially against a righty. Yeah, dude, look at those numbers. That is a postseason. 14 walks. Trent Grisham, he's actually been doing pretty good. Dang, okay. James Wood, not too much to worry about. And then this Derek Green has been having a good postseason. Okay, so yeah, they're not doing terrible. Us, meanwhile, our starting pitching has been insanely good. All 4 of our guys who have started games have an ERA under 3. Crochet and I guess Dylan Bundy are the only people to give up runs out of the bullpen. Hendricks with 3 saves, no runs allowed. Zach Collins at the plate. Yeah, doing better than Grandal. Sano's got a couple of home runs. The one was pretty clutch in the last game to give us that bigger lead. We got Moncada struggling. We already knew that. Tim Anderson kind of struggling, but a couple homers. Trey Turner definitely struggling. We're definitely being carried offensively by a couple people. Zach Collins, Eloy, honestly Vaughn when I'm not playing yet. If you take out my at-bats with him, he's probably batting like 400. So I think I've taken up enough time here. Always get carried away looking at stats, but we can go ahead, get into game 1 of the World Series. Tied 0-0, 8th inning. Hopefully we can shut them down, score some runs, get the save, and we can coast to a nice, easy 1-0 series lead. Grandal, of course, would be the first batter we're facing. With Ohtani on the mound, only at 78 pitches, plenty of energy, 2 hits allowed. There's only been 3 total hits in this game. Tyler Mahle with a 9 strikeout, 1 hitter so far. We have an Eloy double, and that's our only hit. Not even a walk. 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 2 hits for Ohtani. And he is hitting, but we kind of did expect that because in our lineups against righties, with the issues that are happening, the pitcher hits. So that's not abnormal. I think I'm gonna stick with them though. They do have, I guess, with Grandal batting lefty, 3 lefties in a row, but I think we're good to stick with Shohei. Okay, I kind of left that right down the middle. That's not how you want to pitch to Grandal. There we go, the cutter low and in. Okay, that turned out to be a good pitch. Okay, James Wood here doesn't want to swing the bat. He's taking 4 straight pitches. Let's just challenge him with another heater and miss the zone. Okay, challenge him again. You don't want to swing the bat? You can sit down. Come on, Shohei. Get me through one more batter here. Oh, that's close. That was close to being hit a lot better, but we are good. 3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts in the 8th, and we need to get at least 1 runner on for Shohei to come up to the plate and do something. I know Tyler Mahle is having quite the game, but it's still Tyler Mahle. I'm not too scared of facing him. Oh, come on. Look at that swing. Hit the gap or something. Oh my god, 2 curves in a row that just caught me completely off guard. Can't be letting those go. I mean, yeah, you can't take it when it's that close, but it really had to be a perfect pitch like that. Collins may as well have not even brought a bat to the plate there. I didn't even swing on. What is he through? Okay, there is a reason to be scared of Tyler Mahle if he's gonna pitch like this. And then he got me popping up on the 4-seam up and in. Wow, dude. Okay. Well, if we're going to win this game, now we have to walk it off. And honestly, I think I'm going to stick with Shohei. I mean, on one hand, I just want to get him in at bat because maybe he'll be the one to break through. But on the other hand, I mean, he's seemingly been so dominant. Is Vaughn going to get to this one? Why do we have the red circle around it? What do we... Okay, he'll just get there. All right, this is the scary one, though. This is Shohei versus Tatis. Kind of don't want to give him a fastball in to turn on. We're going to try and keep it all away. That works. 0-2 so far. He'll swing at this, right? In the dirt. That's not in the dirt. Okay. Slider's going to get him. Slider's going to get him. 13 strikeouts. And he's pitching into the 9th. Oh, never mind. This is the scary one. We're good, though. 2 outs. You just got to get 1 more out, Shohei. Who cares who it is? We don't care about those splits. Oh, my God. This has got to get somebody, right? At some point. And it got him. Perfect pitch there. Another strikeout for Ohtani. And he's leading off the bottom of the 9th. Could you imagine if he throws a complete game, 14 strikeout, shutout, and then steps up and walks it off in the bottom of the 9th? Oh, and they're bringing in the lefty to face him. But unfortunately for them, Shohei was better against lefties this year. What's he throwing out there? 4-seam, 2-seam, slider, circle, change? Oh, okay. If I was a little bit more ready for that, that could have been the pitch. Oh, and that, Oh, I thought I got it. All right, ooh, that was close. 3-2, Shohei. What do we got? Oh, no. I'm looking heat up and in, so the hanging slider actually got me. That is such a hittable pitch. That is a mistake. That should have been it. We win. Trey Turner on the no doubt perfect. That caught me off guard. I pressed X and the first word that came to mind was we. He's been having such a bad postseason that I honestly wasn't expecting that. But of course he would do it. He's one of the best players on the team. Electric, dude. Complete game shutout for Ohtani. Still tied 0-0, and then we finally get the run support with the walk-off in the bottom of the 9th. That's a way to start a World Series. That was so clean too, man. A perfect like that, a line drive. I don't know. I don't know know if this happened in real life, would this be considered a boring game one or a fun game one? I'm leaning on the fun side of game one to see that kind of pitching performance out of both starters and then finish it with a walk-off. The only thing that could have made it even better is if Shohei was the one that walked it off, but we're not complaining. That is a huge game one win. Keeps the dream alive of sweeping the World Series again, because we did it last year too, didn't we? And now let's see what game two is going to look like. Tied 1-1. We got a little bit more baseball to play in this one though, bottom of the 6th. But we are going to go ahead and call this one here and come back in the next one to play games 2 and 3. So guys, make sure if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button for me. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I'm shooting for 1,000 before 23 comes out, and I feel like it's doable. But guys, thanks for watching today. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time for games 2 and 3.